So I like programs like this, that is like it's more like a design program. And I'm sure so many of you have been staying at home now and going through all your old photos, trying to archive things. Hopefully you're using archiving methods like Google Photos, things like that, to get all your photos organized. And you may want to start making a book about your photos. Maybe you have a special travel trip or a special event, something like that. I myself have been getting together some of my artwork. I'm going to be showing you some examples from Shutterfly, and we're going to be working through an ongoing project that I have. I know that Shutterfly is a program that you may be familiar with, but there are some tips that might make it easier for you too, that you can customize things a little bit. It's very simple and it works with templates for the most part. However, it will also be a design program that you can customize a little bit more too. So I'm going to be showing you a couple of things, moving ahead, what we can do. As Michelle mentioned at the beginning, we're going to be recording this, and if you have questions, I'm going to do a question and answer period at the end of this class. And so just add your chat comments to the conversation panel that's on your right. It's like a little cartoon balloon with somebody speaking, and you can add questions there. And at the end, I will read off the questions and do my best to answer your questions. But I bet a lot of it might be covered in the time that we spend together here today. So I'm going to go ahead and shift my screen over to Shutterfly, and we're going to start to design a book. So here we are in Shutterfly, and I am signed into my account here. Very easy to sign into Shutterfly. The very first thing that you would do is go to a screen that looks like this, and once you go to shutterfly.com. And if you have not signed up before, you can sign up right here. I've got it set to keep myself signed in, so I've got my password here and the email that I had used to sign in. And if you choose a password, I know we all have so many passwords we have to remember, maybe something that has to do with, that makes you think of Shutterfly, maybe a kind of bird or something like that. But pick out a password for yourself too, write it down somewhere. But if you forget it, they'll be able to email you a reset as well. So you sign in, and once you get to the next screen, you'll see that they have a lot of offers. And this is a great thing about Shutterfly, is that it's never full price. I've never seen it full price. They have different kinds of offers, but it's always worth checking out what the offers are. Like today, at the end of the day, you can save up to 40% on everything, plus an extra 10% off, which is great. And they give you the code right here, so you could write that down. They almost always have free shipping on orders over $39. And it's always the same code, SHIP39. It's just a perennial offer that they give you. Now you see on here, down below, you'll see that they've showed me a bunch of products that they can do. Not only books, but we can do canvas prints, we can do puzzles and pillows and prints and mouse pads, coasters, all kinds of things that you could do. So if you were planning a special event, say an anniversary or a wedding, they have specialized products that you can put your own personalized sayings and your own personalized pictures on them. Now, I've been photographing a lot of hummingbirds, and I had some hummingbirds printed up. on their canvas prints, and that turned out very nice. So that's why they're showing my own photos here. So you may open this and you may find a picture of your first grandchild or your family or your trip to Arizona or something like that. For today, they're showing me the hummingbirds that I had previously uploaded to the photos section. And you can see they also have cards and stationery, so you could make matching cards to your event and something like that, calendars, and they have some extra offers too. So you might want to check this out if you're not doing a book. Now at this point, our photo book shows up here, and it gives you some choices of how to make your book. There's 3 great ways to make your book here. They can make it for you if you have a whole lot of photos, say from a wedding or something like that, and you'd rather not customize it. They will make that for you, and you just upload your photos, and there's different fees and things right now. The design fee is 0, so that's a nice one. Otherwise, you will pay per page above and beyond the base price of the book. It usually starts at about 20 pages. Now, the second path is a custom path. You can personalize this page on down to every last detail, every page, and the cover. And you can choose different kinds of covers and things as well. And this is what we'll be working on a little bit today, because I'm going to go a little more custom for you, because I found that the templates aren't always something that works real well for everybody, but their templates are there for using, and you can adjust the templates and adjust the sizes of the photos and the bleeds. That is when the photo goes off a page, that's what the bleed means. And you can move text and things like that anywhere. And those are the kind of hints that I find real helpful in putting a book together. And the simple path is you can instantly lay out your photos and get started right away. And that would be using their templates exactly and just dragging your photos into those templates. And there are also photo books that have different customizations. They have different templates that you could use. There'd be one that was like this, that had a gray background and the sort of cream and green background for a wedding, and you can customize it, make it yours. And they have a great video right here too, so you can watch that to review. We are also available for questions and for meeting on a one-to-one basis, on a virtual basis for a 30-minute appointment. I am available for that, as is my colleague Patrick, and you would just go home to the Lake Forest Library homepage, go to the Media Lab, and you can get something for us too. So we're going to get you started today, but if you have questions afterwards, we are here to help, and that's what we'd like to make clear, is that that doesn't have to end here. We still have an ability to consult together and talk together, and you can email me too. We can talk about whatever questions you have as you get into this. Let's explore the site a little bit here. I will show you my account, and this will also pop up with giving you some other options. So we have all kinds of things now. We have easels, and it looks like mugs and different things like that too. But down here, you have both my photos and my projects. Now, these are all photos that I have uploaded already. It's super easy to upload photos to your Shutterfly account, and these photos are just in your account. They're just for you. If I wanted to upload a photo to my photo, I'm going to show my photo file. I'll show you how to do that. We will go to the upload, and it gives you several easy ways to do this. Now, here is it's going a little slow today, and it says I can either drag or drop, which is great. And I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to drag it from my computer. But you can also go into your own Google Photos account. which is very handy, and you can connect to Google Photos and import photos that way. That does give Shutterfly access to Google, to your Google.com Photos account. So you want to read the information about that when you do connect to Google Photos, if you prefer to go that way. It can also pick up photos from your Facebook account. That's the same story. It would need access to your Facebook account or to your Instagram account. So I'm going to go to my computer, and there are two ways I can do this. I can either drag or drop, or I can go to choose photos. Right now, I'm going to grab a photo from my desktop, and I'm going to upload it here. And this is a fun picture. I've gotten, the squirrels are very, very fond of me right now, and they are absolutely laying on my porch and just snoozing the day away. It's very fun. Here's some of my other photos. This is artwork that I've done while we're uploading this. I'll tell you, this is what I'm going to be working with our book today. These are photographs that I've done, and I've layered them in Photoshop and in a program called Pixlr. I'm also going to be doing a program on Pixlr later this month. That's all listed on the library workshop as well. The library website, excuse me. And I could create an album if I want to keep these albums together, but right now I'm just going to have them loose in here. So we have our snoozy squirrel here, which is cute, which might go down one of those pillows or something. But for now, we're going to do the books. So these are all photos that I have uploaded into Shutterfly so that I can go to the photos and easily upload them. Now, if you wanted to upload more photos from here, you can do it as well. It's in this upper right corner here. And the photos are all sorted by date taken and the date uploaded. So putting albums together is a good idea as well when you want to do a couple of different albums. As you start doing more and more books, you're going to want a book for that Arizona trip, and a book for the first grandchild's birthday, and a book for other things as well. Mine is a book about art. I might do a book on hummingbirds here too. But this is what we're doing with loading our own photographs to begin with. So these are all kept in your Shutterfly.com archives here. We're going to go back to my account. And there's all kinds of other resources here as well. But what I'm looking for is this section right here that says My Projects. This will be a quick link to the projects that you're currently working on. And here I've started a photo book. So I'm just going to open this one. In this area, you also have recent orders, a place for my account, a place for different settings, some videos, some things to plan with. So this is a great resource. And the only thing that you pay for with this is not a membership fee, but just buying the actual products from them. And like I said, always look for those extra sales, because you can really find some good deals, and they change probably about every 3 or 4 days. But there's always something like 40% off, which is a great deal. But this extra 10% off today is even better. Sometimes you can get extra pages that have no additional cost, because if you remember, these books start at 20 pages. And after that, there's a page count and a fee that you would pay for it. Now we're in my project, which I'd already started, and you'll notice down here at the bottom are all my photos that are available. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I have the layouts page set right here, because these are the templates that we're going to be bringing over. There are also backgrounds, embellishments, idea pages, and we can look at all those as well. For instance, if you want to get more backgrounds, there's many different background colors that you can do. There's very subtle page colors that you can print on. You can add embellishments like frames and different triangles and things like that in the background if you wanted to add your own sort of effects to this. Even Scotch tape. I bet they even have those photo corners that you used to have. That'd be cool. You could upload something like that if they don't. They also have idea pages. You have a metallic front cover, different ways of presenting the cover is what they're showing us now, because I am open to the cover. So this will help you decide what kind of cover you might like too, or you can completely customize it yourself. And they do have a nice feature now, which is metallic, which it can add special something with the silver or the gold effects, and also different colors. They also have a leather bound version. And all those are cover options that you would choose as you're creating this, or at the very end when you have decided just how many pages you want, how many photos you want on each page, how many different combinations you want for your cover, you know, if there's just one picture or more, all that. And at that point, you can get some more ideas about what kind of cover you want. Mostly, I start a book with just some ideas, like page ideas. And those can be helped along your decision process by these templates that are available here. Now, there's many different templates, and they all have different borders, different configurations, different type. And that's to make it easy for you. And I really like to start with something similar to what I'm looking for and then move on from there. We'll be talking more about that in just a few minutes, what we're going to do to customize these. And it's also when you have several pictures on a page, there is an option for templates that show you, say, 4 pictures on a page or 2 pictures on a page and different things like that. And then we go from there and customize them. Up here are some tools that are probably very similar to many of the tools that you've used on other programs or photo programs, if you've used even a design program like InDesign or Photoshop or all the photo programs that are on your smartphone that have different icons to them. These will look very familiar. These are, this is a picture upload icon. Obviously, it's got the little mountain and the sun in the background. This is a type icon to add text. And this is an icon to add a photo area. So we will be using some of these, and we'll be using this template over here. Moving forward, the first thing that I do once I get back into my book or once I'm starting a book is turn it on to advanced editing. Now, before I do that, I'm going to show you this spine here in the middle. This spine only appears when you're out of advanced editing, and that the point is to show you that it will have a sort of border at the edge here that holds the book together. It might be black, it might be a canvas color like this, might be something else. And then this little box right now is showing you where your spine copy would be. So you can add copy there too. And again, that's something that I do at the end. You can put a picture on the back cover. There are some places that you can't put pictures in the book, and you'll see that in a minute. But right now we're going to go up to advanced editing and turn that on, and that shows us a grid and the arrows and some other features that we have that will be helpful when we're trying to customize our book here. So this is going to be our photos down here, which you can also add more photos as you go along. I'm going to do that right now and add one more photo to all these photos that I've pulled over. We're going to add that. And this time I'm going to go to choose photos. If you remember with the sleepy squirrel, I pulled it on to the picture of the computer right here. Right now I'm going to go choose photos, and we'll do it another way just to show you that you can also just navigate to the desktop or somewhere else. There's our squirrel, and there's another piece of artwork I want to put in this book. So I'm going to say open, and it adds it down here. And then at this point, I want to say add. And then you say, okay. And so it seems like a lot of affirmation you have to give it to get in, but you do have to go through those 3 steps. So this is handy when you're in the middle of adding photos into the book and you thought, oh, you may not have them all, you can add them. And at this point, you can add them from Google Photos, Facebook, or Instagram as well. But I was showing you the process how to add them from my computer, because I just find that that's an easy way to start with. Get a folder or put them on your desktop and be able to just drag them in or add them by going through the browse and then navigating to the photo that you're looking for. So we're on the cover here, and what I had done for the cover is just a loose outline of what sort of what I wanted to look for. And you notice that that spine isn't here. It's okay, it will be at the end, but I think they remove it so that you don't have a distraction for it. Now there's something about adding this. Now I've clicked on it and I had a blank page and I was able to add this photo just by dragging a photo up. Now you can do that. I'll just start fresh here and do that. And I'll take my name off here too and show you how to add text. Now this is one way that you can do this, and you can add the photo. Now you notice on my photos, I've got a sort of edge that is called a grunge edge, which I like, and it gives it a kind of sketchy extra frame look. That's the frame on it. You can see it's all kind of sketchy. Now, you see the pink line that pops up? That's telling you that it's centered. So you could drag it around, and when this line pops up, it's centered exactly. But what I want to do is center it and move it up a bit. Now I'm going to use the arrows on my keyboard just to move it up to where I wanted it. And this is a very custom look for right now, but it's going to get us used to the features and things. Now I want to add some text to this page. And what you want to make sure is anytime you add anything to the page, you want this to be orange. You want the page to be selected because you're telling it that, oh, I want to do something to this page. So also, this is very important, where it saves things on your own, but if you're doing something customized, you'll want to hit save every few minutes just in case, you know, always good to do that. But it does automatically save your work every couple of minutes. Right now, this area up here is also showing me that what I've chosen is a 12 by 12 hardcover book at 20 pages, and it's $41.99, but there's a special offer I can apply to it. So if we were all done, I was going to finish this today, we would then be going through this with the add to cart and then add the special offers and bring those prices down as well. But it does give you a running count, which I find very helpful because I tend to add a lot of pages and want full pages for things. And then I have to keep an eye on this, make sure it doesn't add up to too much. And now I've hit the back cover, and that's just something I'm going to leave blank. You'll notice that that is orange. And what we're going to do is add the type here. So I make sure that that's orange again. You see, I clicked off of that. So I just wanted to show you that make sure this is the page that you want to add something to. And at this point, I'm going to add text. And it just kind of plops that text box down for you right here. And again, I'm going to grab that. And when I grab these things and move them around, you see that this little compass appears, this little 4-pronged cross. and that will allow you to move things around. Now, if you're in a different view, a little arrow like this allows you to open up the box. So these little handles are fully customizable like this to make your own size. Now I want to make sure that that's centered below that, and that looks right. That looks like it's about a good thing. I'm going to double click on it, and there, I have my first type kit has shown up here, the little kit that you use to change fonts and choose your fonts. You can also size things, and this is very familiar to all of you that have worked in a program like Microsoft Word, say, or a design program like InDesign. This shows you that if I wanted the type to go left, centered, flush right, justified, fully justified, and straight along the edge. And you can also do some figuring of the type to move it to the top, to move it to the center, to move it to the bottom. When you have a text box and you're doing captions or something like this, I find these are very handy. I usually leave the autofit unchecked because I want to choose my own type size. And there's a lot of fonts here you can choose as well. There's very simple fonts like Avenir, and there's nice script fonts which you can use for headlines or for your title page, things like that. It depends on how much type you have in a book. In design, as a graphic designer, I do like to use a very plain readable type when I have a lot of type, but I do like to use these script type, for instance, this, when it's something that I'd like to be special. And if you use a script and a sans serif font together, that looks nice too. So this is customizable to whatever kind of font that you like, and you can just look through these. They have a lot of them, and you can try things. Until you press the add to cart, you are not committed to any font, and you can change it as you go along. But for right now, I'm going to try this script font because I think this looks kind of cool, and we're going to do an 18 point to start with, and I'm going to keep it light gray. That's a feature that you have colors here. You could make them in a metallic color, and you can show more metallic colors. That might be an interesting thing to do. And this, I believe, is just for the cover, that you could do metallic covers, metallic type rather. So we might want to try and see what that silver looks like. And if we don't like it, we can go back to black or gray. And then I'm just going to put my name here. And we are certainly going to think of a better title for this book when we're done, but that's what it's going to be for now. We're going to highlight this. We're going to go up to here and go to about 34, 36 points. Now you see this little yield sign has come up, and that's a good thing because it says the text does not fit. So just say, okay, go back here and let's open this up a little bit. Now the price of my product has changed because I use this metallic type. So I might want to say, oh, that's good, that we're keeping an eye on that. So I would maybe want to change that to something a little more readable. When you double click on this box, your text box pops up again over here. And at this point, I'm going to highlight the type just by dragging across it, or by clicking a couple times to highlight it and let it know that I want to do something with that type. And since it's a fine script, it's a little hard to see in the gray. So we're going to just make it black for now. So when you're done and happy with that, you would say, okay, and I'm going to give it a save as we move on. Now the second page is the inside front cover, and this is a textured page, and you can't put anything on this, as well as the inside page. Keeps wanting to open to that. These two pages are just your your front piece, and those cannot have any type on them. Now, usually, traditionally in any book, when you see it, like your coffee table books about interior design or something like that, for instance, or your Marie Kondo book, which I've been doing a lot of Marie Kondoing of my house during this stay at home right now. So that all professional books look like this, and they have this page blank. This is your title page, and I've pulled this over just to show you that that would be the page that you would start on. And again, you can either pull this up by using your little compass tool, holding the mouse down while you're pulling it, or you can use it by using your arrow keys on your keyboard. And sometimes the title page and the cover are the same. It's just the title page will be a little bit smaller, but it will have the same type. But some people want to put something different on it. Maybe you have a dedication you want to put here, or you want to put a different family picture or a different piece of artwork like I did. And then what I would probably do is put the type here by choosing the type. And again, pulling this down, duplicating it. I'm just going to do this again so you get familiar with seeing it, and you can see that that's in the center now. Double click, and we're just going to get the type going here again. Takes a minute. There it is. Now it tends to default back to this Lulu clean one. I'm not sure why, but you have your style fonts right here, which you have used throughout the book. Those will pop up, but sometimes you'll have to look through them again. And so you might want to make a note about what you wanted, what you had used before. There's another way to tell if you want to keep all this black, and we're going to use just a sans serif face. The serifs on a type are those little footers and headers. An example I'll show you of a serif face would be like Bodoni here, and you see these little elements right here. This is something in typography that gives you the nice readability, because it was originally designed so that you could skim your eye across the line of type as you were reading it. And the idea was, anyway, with the serif fonts, is that these little fonts, these little footers and things would help guide your eye across the page. I'm going to go with a sans serif font, which you notice does not have the serifs, which are the footers and the headers on each letter. And this is a nice, clear, blocky type, which is going to be good if we have a lot of type. And I'm going to use that as my secondary font. I usually try and just pick two fonts for each project, maybe a serif and a sans serif that work together. And then you can use different weights of the fonts to kind of call out what you're trying to talk about. A lot of these books are just photo books. You might have a caption and you might not. It might just be all photos. But the type features here give you a lot of versatility and may be something that you want to do. Now we're going to keep this centered here. And this one I'm just going to call title page. And 18 is a little too small. And right now it's in italic. I usually just like to use it regular, so we'll just change it to regular. This is a good example of one of the fonts that has italic, regular, and bold. Not all of them do, but some of them do, and that can be helpful when you're doing a lot of text in your books as well. So I'm going to say OK, and we're going to go on to our next page here, which will be our first page. Now I've put photos of 4 here, for a page for 4 photos here. And you can see over here that my text and my pictures has changed right here. Now there is no text on this page. I just picked 4 photos, and I will show you how I did that. Let's delete these for a minute. and I'm just clicking on them and pressing delete. So you can further customize them. Now I'm going to go back to 4, and here's all these choices you have. You could even go across a spread. A spread is 2 pages next to each other like this that is open. For our purposes, we might pick one of these simpler ones. There's ones that are bleeding off the page. Because I have a border on my pages, I'm going to keep it standard, but you can mix it up too. You could have some of these pages look like this and some look like this, and have them, well, let's try one like this. And I will show you there is type here. If you don't want type here, you can take this off. So I'm going to do that because you remember you can always add it later up here. For this one, I'm going to stretch this out a little bit, and I just moved that inadvertently a little bit over, so I'll give you another hint here. On my Macintosh, Command-Z is a very, very helpful tool. It allows you to undo an action, and that is the way that you can get that box to move back to where it belonged because I inadvertently hit it. Command-Z is a great thing if you're on a Macintosh because it will allow you to undo the last thing you did and go back one step. And as I say, I often wish there was a Command-Z in life. That would be nice for all the times I've burned a casserole or something. Looks like a little box came up there that said that there was a problem, and it might not have liked me going into the area here. This area here is kind of a dead area. You always have to have a margin around things so that you can print unless you're doing a full bleed, which is going off the page. I'm not sure what that was all about, but I just said okay, and if it's still working, I'm not going to have to call them. They have a really good customer service, though. If you do need to call them, they will walk you through any problems that you might have had. So I'm going to say that these look good and maybe pull a couple of pictures up inside them. We have time for me to show you just a few more things here. So I'm going to look through this. I'm going to say, let's just pull this one up again too, just to show you what it looks like. And then I can again pull these apart and say, this one just wasn't working. I really would like to have a full picture. And you see these turquoise lines that pop up. This allows you, again, it's centered, and these turquoise lines are telling you that it is even with the picture above it. And so let's just grab another picture and put it in place there. There you go. So now I've customized a page by using something that I had here. And even though it had type on it, I was able to take the type off. And I'm going to leave this page as it is because I don't want any type. But say I wanted a whole page of text across from it that said, oh, what was my inspiration, or what's the title of each of these pictures, or something like that. I would then double click this. We get back to here. I'm just going to do some Greek type here. They don't like that either. Let's try the word title and just stick that in there. This is going to be black. This is going to be a veneer, and we're going to leave that at 18. We're going to go flush left, and then I'm going to put this at the top. And you can see I have this whole area here now that I could add type to. So that's some of the pages that you can do, and you would just keep moving through the book, choose your template to give you a starting point, and you can either use the template as is, or you can grab the handles and pull them out. So I hope this was all helpful and you were able to find enough information in here to start customizing your own Photoshop sort of books, photo books. So let's go to, say I wanted to add this to cart. I can take this over. And then it's telling me that I have issues that I need to fix, and that is that all the pages may not be in there, or something might be coming off the edge of the page. When you go to add to cart, they will give you the option, as I said, once you're all finished and you've gotten everything customized, we want to be able to say for sure that this is exactly the way I want it. So I'm not going to add it to cart right now, but it will give you a lot of options and where you could put in your special offers, your shipping information, how much it will cost and things like that. At this point, I'm going to go back to our chat feature and see if we're any questions at the end here. And I am going to follow up with that. So hi again, and it was so good of you all to come. I hope you got a lot out of this. Let's see. We have some, one person has asked if that she has most of her photos on her phone. Don't you all? Don't we all? Will the quality be good enough? That is a good question, and the quality is usually good enough. You might want to go into a photo program with your photographs, like Google Photos, and edit a little bit if you want a special crop or something like that. There are options about cropping in the Shutterfly book too, but they're more limited than doing it in a photo program like Google Photos or Photoshop type program. So you might want to use that. The quality on the phone will probably, from your phone will probably be good enough, as long as you don't want to do it a full page. I will tell you a little bit about quality of pictures is that when you're using pictures in print, you usually want them to be 300 dots per inch or pixels per inch. And when you're using them on the internet, they only need to be 72 dpi. So that is something you want to consider when you're pulling your pictures in. If they look blurry when you're pulling them into Photoshop, you might want to go back and look at that picture in a photo program, see that it's the right size. And I think that is the end of the questions that we had. I hope if you have any more questions, please write to me at the Media Lab at lakeforestlibrary.com. You can call us, and we also have places on the website where you can see what upcoming meetings we're having. We're having a meeting you might enjoy this Friday. It's podcasting with my colleague Patrick. And on the 29th, we have a very popular program, which is Cut the Cable Cord, allowing you to stream movies and things right from the library. So that will be a good one. And that is given by Michelle. So look on the library website and find what you might be able to be interested in next. And I hope you all had a good overview of Shutterfly. Thank you very much.